Some of the images that come to mind when we think about networking might be a cocktail party, a chamber of commerce meeting, or a business dinner. In fact, it could be any number of social interactions. They all contain the common themes of being live, face-to-face, and in real time. You and I are living proof that this version of reality needs to be updated. Here we are attending a conference completely online with the opportunity of networking in our home. Heck, you could even be in your pajamas and slippers if you wanted to. A new mental model in the making. I love olives.
Networking is vital in helping your enterprise grow in today's competitive marketplace. It is no different than the old boys network that we've all heard about sometime in our lives. Since you are probably not a member of that network, in your community you must develop your own circle of business associates and friends. The wider your network, which can be either virtual or real, the greater the opportunity to increase your customer base, because at the end of the day, people do business with people they know, like, and trust. You cannot develop trust of others by sitting in your office waiting for the phone to ring. We undertake networking because of the complexity of today's business ecosystem. For example, some lawyers tend to associate only with other lawyers, doctors only with other doctors. The real estate lawyer, however, who networks with developers, mortgage brokers, real estate agents, is going to be far more successful than the one who has a beer with other lawyers and complains about the lack of billable hours. The point is that you must develop a wide range of associates rather than limit it to friends and peers. The new mental models we have discussed during this workshop necessitate that we seek out opportunities for networking. Networking will increase your prospect, referral, and ultimately your customer base. It is increasingly a small world, and you never know when you'll call upon someone who at the time of your meeting did not seem to have any value to your immediate goals, but later on would contribute significantly to your success. Like other business skills, networking is a talent that you learn and refine. Like most things in life, you will only be successful in your networking as you are prepared. The first step in preparing to network is to focus on the event and why you are there. Is it a Chamber of Commerce mixer, which is primarily a networking event? Is it a charity affair or an online business event? No matter what the event, you should organize yourself and practice an introduction that is appropriate to the occasion. Small talk is integral to networking as you seek to find a common interest with those you speak to. Keeping up to date on current local issues, industry happenings, literature, or other information pertinent to the event is important. If it is a sponsored event, take time to familiarize yourself with the sponsors and the keynote speaker or guest. If the event is virtual, you'll want to get the technical considerations out of the way so they don't mar your ability to network. Take the time to make sure you have the right software and the computer configuration to log on with ease. Networking requires a certain amount of courage, as it means approaching people you may not know. When you take that deep breath, walk over to a stranger, and extend a hand, one of the best things you can do after the introductions are concluded is to close your mouth and listen. Actively listen. As you listen, identify questions arising from the conversation, and at the appropriate time, bring these questions into the conversation. Not only does this expand the dialogue, but it also shows your genuine interest in the subject matter and the person you have just been introduced to. This is where online networking can be much easier than face-to-face. In a virtual environment, you have the ability to observe what's going on and join in only when you feel comfortable. You have time to figure out what the conversations are about and how you can contribute. The other beauty of online is that you can carefully construct your response before posting it to an online venue. No requirement to generate small talk on the spot. Dale Carnegie said that listening is one of the sincerest forms of flattery. Working at getting others to open up by asking questions and having them enlighten you on their business ventures and personal interests is extremely powerful. This maintains dialogue and is an expression of mutual interest. It is hard to let someone know when you are listening in an online environment. You may have to carefully read and consider what someone has written, but unless you post back a reply, they will never know. When you are networking, the last place you want your business cards is collecting dust in your wallet. Take a good supply with you, and when someone hands you their business card, take a moment to examine it. The business card can tell you a lot about the person, who they work for, their title and associate responsibilities, credentials, and education. Information gleaned from a business card is often a source of a great icebreaker. Your office is close to. How do you like it there? The same applies to your signature email. Make sure it provides the recipients with information you want them to know, such as the name and the mission of your business. Some time ago, a salesperson handed me a business card. Following his names were the letters LFB. I made a mental note of this unusual accreditation. Later on in our conversation, I had to ask him what LFB stood for. He smiled and wondered out loud what took me so long. LFB stood for Looking for Business. The acronym at the end of his name was so effective that here I am sharing the story a decade later. A business card also makes for an excellent notepad. When you receive someone's card, take a moment and jot down some unique information on the back about the person. It will help you remember who everyone was when you arrive home later on with a pocket full of business cards and begin to sort them out. The do's and don'ts of effective business networking. Do. Schmooze, be visible and likable. You don't have to be the life of the party, but make sure that you mingle with lots of chutzpah. Get to know people and make sure they know you. Do. Show up. Wasn't it Woody Allen that said, 90% of success is just showing up? No matter how strong you think your current circle of friends and relationships is, at your next networking session, go up to a complete stranger and introduce yourself. You will be expanding your circle of influence and range of interests. Work at it. This conference is a great networking resource. Do. Reach beyond your profession for business connections. Actively seek out business owners, salespeople, educators, and managers. A non-competitor who interacts with a great number of people is a potential ally and partner. Seek them out. Do. Make sure your business connections run on a two-way street. Refer clients as well as expect to receive referrals. Work actively to provide increased income, convenience, better outcomes, and benefits for your referral sources. The synergy will contribute significantly to your success. Don't. Impose upon acquaintances requests for membership lists and other confidential information. It is unprofessional. Don't. Seek the spotlight and offer to chair every committee. This is not to say that you should turn down positions of leadership and responsibility. Be strategic in what you say yes to, and accept positions that reflect your skill and background. Let people discover you. Don't. Expect your colleagues in similar businesses to be your referral sources. They are your competitors and are unlikely to share prospective clients and leads with you. Don't rush into a business relationship. Have lunch, get acquainted, but never rush to push a business card or brochure on anyone. It will end up in the garbage, and potentially a valuable relationship will be stymied at the onset. Sometimes your most powerful asset is the time you take to write a thoughtful letter a few days after you've met someone you think you might want to be associated with. Don't panic or try to rush to fill your referral sources. 3 to 10 core referral sources is a good foundation. Remember, personal and business relationships are not sustained on their own. You must devote energy in order to sustain the synergy of the relationship. Listen now to Sharon Gilleen, our Executive Director at Royal Roads University for Corporate Learning, on the power of networking. STM. Have you set as one of your personal goals to meet 3 new business contacts every week? If not, do so. I have found a good practice to identify in my day timer the 3 new contacts I have made each and every week. New contacts can be acquired easily through membership in local service organizations like the Rotary Club, or by dropping in to say hello to the owner of the neighboring business.